Hello, my name's Amy Jenkins. I'm a principal in the dispute resolution team here at Russell Kennedy and the head of the family law team. Spousal maintenance is a payment from one party to another in a family law dispute, normally in the context of parties who have separated. The parties don't need to be married in order to be entitled to spousal maintenance. Generally, spousal maintenance is paid on what we call an interim basis, which means it's a payment that's received whilst the parties are trying to figure out how their property division will take place. Normally, what needs to be established is that one party has a need to receive spousal maintenance and the other party has a capacity to pay. And there's various factors that go into proving both need and capacity. Spousal maintenance issues arise in various different circumstances. The most common circumstance that arises is when parties first separate, often where there are children or there's some other reason. One party is what we call a homemaker or spends the primary amount of their time within the home and the other parent works. And in those circumstances it may be necessary for one party to receive some money in order to re-establish themselves and to pay for their day-to-day expenses. It's important to remember that spousal maintenance is totally separate to the issue of child support, which is money that's given for a child. So if you're in a circumstance where you feel as though you don't have enough money to meet your everyday needs, then that's a circumstance that would give rise to a spousal maintenance claim. There's other circumstances that are more long-term, where one party has been out of the workforce for a substantial amount of time, and in those circumstances it may be necessary for spousal maintenance to be paid on a longer term basis, but they are generally more rare. There's many different aspects to a spousal maintenance claim, and I certainly wouldn't be able to cover all of those in one video, but some things that you definitely need to remember is that it's important to tackle spousal maintenance issues early in proceedings and quite soon after separation. It's often more difficult to establish a spousal maintenance claim if months or years have passed, because what you need to establish for the court is that you have a need. And it's very difficult to establish that you have a need if you've been able to live without spousal maintenance for a considerable amount of time. So that's the first thing to remember. The second thing to remember is that spousal maintenance claims are totally separate to payments that are made for children. And simply because you work part-time and are managing to scrape by doesn't necessarily mean that you're precluded from making a claim. So it's definitely something that you should tackle early and address with your lawyer straight away. The first thing that needs to be addressed when you're looking at any spousal maintenance claim is the expenses that are actually incurred for a party. Now, this can be quite overwhelming when parties first separate, but we break it down for clients and have a look at things usually on an Excel spreadsheet. And what we normally take into consideration in any spousal maintenance claim is not only expenses such as clothing and accessories, but also expenses like food and household supplies. So the first step that I take clients through is usually that Excel spreadsheet to go through all of the information. The next thing that we have a look at is the capacity of the other party to pay. Often in cases like this, the party who may have some capacity will try and limit that capacity, and it's therefore really important to go back through the relationship and look at how expenses were paid during that relationship. Spousal maintenance claims are often made in circumstances where one party is in desperate need for financial assistance and things need to happen quite quickly. But if you engage with your solicitor and provide as much information as you possibly can, they'll be able to assist you quickly. For further information about any spouse maintenance question, please contact either myself or any other solicitor in the family law team.